Y'all, am I prude, or is the Holy Spirit just busy with me? Because I've been on this train where I'm just like, HS, please, I need a break. Holy Spirit, I need a break. Because what is going on? Anyway, guys, my name is Tato. Welcome back to my channel where we are all things conversation. So I've been obviously seeing around these YouTube streets. I watch a lot of YouTube and sermons and all of those things. And I've just noticed, especially in America, we are influenced by America. We cannot hide from that. Even how we gospel, we are influenced by America. So I'm going to speak about that. A lot of preachers, a lot of gospel singers, a lot of teachers are just, I don't know, they're just very raw with certain conversations. And conversations, I mean certain words that can be repackaged. So, and I'm here like, okay, is the Holy Spirit working in me now? Or am I just becoming a prude all of a sudden? Because there are certain words that I did not mind. There are certain words that were acceptable to me. And I was just like, okay, it's just a word, I'll make an example. Right, there's a gospel singer that spoke about how most of his songs that actually inspire us, those are the ones that actually, make us feel a certain way. He wrote those songs when he was butt naked, coming out of bed and just going into his piano and just, and in my head I'm like, what was the reason? Is there any way that you can narrate a story without actually letting us know how your kahunas, which is, and I think for me, it's because of the person that I am, right? I'm very, I don't know, I tend to overthink. So with that, obviously my imagination goes very wild. When someone speaks about something, I just go all the way there, right? And I believe there are so many people like me. Secondly, I've seen preachers and podcasters and, of the gospel speaking very candidly about cheeks and spreading it wide and inches and penises. And I'm like, okay, where did that, example, could you have made an example and become vulnerable, for example? I appreciate vulnerability. It's something that I love. But lately I'm just like, whew. So I don't know if I'm two-faced, I'm contradictory, because I really appreciate vulnerability. However, there are certain things where I'm like, I think that could have, been packaged a certain way. There was also like a little disagreement I've had with like a very close person in my life around, the whole Jesus is a stripper from a particular pastor. He was speaking in the pulpit and everyone was talking about, no, it's context, need to understand context. But I'm like, where do we draw the line where we can speak about certain things and not package them in a way that is actually correct, for the ears, and also being sensitive to the people that have been delivered from certain things. And then I realized, maybe it's because I've been delivered from sexual immorality. And I've become maybe sensitive to these things because it's a stronghold, right? Or was a stronghold. And for me, this means now, no, it's not everyone. It's what God has delivered you from. And it is what the enemy will capitalize with. The minute you start entertaining certain things, certain conversations that desensitize, certain ways in which you should be moving, you will get caught. That's when it was like, okay, like we always say, that conviction is personal and we work out our own salvation, and we know scriptures about everything is lawful, but what is beneficial, So that's where I found myself in a space where I'm like, I was actually going to be one of those people that would go into a comment and be like, why are you talking about cheeks? And I know there are a lot of people that are like, nah, test the spirit, girl, you right. And there are other people that are like, nah, you reaching, you too deep, and all of those things. However, when you look at someone that's been delivered, I'll make an example. There's a preacher that I used to like to watch, right? I actually liked the wife because, family, she's a family person, funny. I just liked the character and a personality. I was like, okay, let me watch the pastor. But the pastor, if I tell you guys, his suit pants, you would see the vein of the calf. Look, I'm not joking. That's how tight those suit pants would be, right? And if you are someone that has been delivered from the spirit of perversion, for example, you've done the whole porn, self-pleasure, blah, blah, blah. It is not advisable for you to be watching people like that, because they take you to that place. For example, me. I've been delivered from that. And for me, looking at the pastor, I sometimes would listen to the message, but then get carried away, because obviously if the calves are tight, what else going up is tight, you know? So those are the things that I'm like, oh, okay, I need to look into that. I need to look into how people are speaking, so that they don't tap into that place that I need to now, undo and constantly be. I mean, I want to resist the devil. I don't want to always be the person that's like, no, I'm going there. I'm going to the club and I want to test that God has delivered me from 1, 2, 3. No, I'm just going to resist the club. I'm not going to go to the strip club. I'm not going to go to wherever where God has delivered me from, and His Spirit that He's delivered me from. I'm not going to go and searching for that, So I'm like, okay, so where do we draw the line? And I understood that it is a personal conviction. However, the very same people I'm talking about, right, are the people that have been speaking openly about being delivered from porn addiction and all these sexual immoralities. So now I'm like, okay, are you now being driven by this, the lust that is in you? And now, your lips, or the way you think, or the abundance of your heart is so quick to speak about things in such an insensitive matter, because maybe you are still struggling, or because I just don't know. I don't get it, because it's the very same people that have been struggling with the spirit of lust. You would think that some people, those specific people, would speak more contained when it comes to certain things. So I don't know, but what in the perverse is going on? I'm just tired. I felt like, you know what, I'm tired. I'll make another example. Maybe you're a woman, who's been like delivered. You were on OnlyFans and all of those things. You've been delivered, right? Yes, for another woman to post Instagram pictures with their bikini on, I mean, and some people will be like, cover up, you at the beach, you're not supposed to be showing this, and la 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 la. For them, it's like, it's okay. But for you, who has been delivered from that spirit where you used to attract or want attention by being in the nude, it is advisable for you to at least wear whatever you're wearing, but maybe for the gays on social media spaces, for you to not invite that little thing that you are constantly killing inside of you, to not, that plant that you are not watering, then all of a sudden you water it because you saw another person posting, or another woman of God posting, and you saw their likes, and you saw people saying, oh, you look nice and whatever, forgetting that they are not in the same, they have not been delivered from the same things that you have been delivered from. So I'm understanding now that, oh, okay, I'm one person that needs to avoid these spaces, because I see how sensitive I become when people speak like this. I see how sensitive I become when I look at a singer with their chest out and their mesh or see-through t-shirt, or when they're grinding and on stage and all of those things. The very same person that was speaking about how they've been struggling with sexual addictions and all of those things, the very same pastor that was speaking about addiction, to pornography, is the same pastor that is just speaking so carelessly about certain things. Are you even mindful of the people that are now in the position that you were, and you are now exposing them to these things, or exposing them to these talks so that their imagination can run wild? I don't know. So, but I've understood conviction. I've understood the works of the Holy Spirit. So hence I'm saying, am I becoming prude because of the work of the Holy Spirit? or we are just becoming, we are just allowing perversion, and we are not protecting, the sanctity, or I don't know, we are not being sensitive to what we believe in. We are using an excuse of vulnerability for us to speak anyhow. And I don't know. But all I'm saying, guys, is if you catch me with the testimonies that I've shared, that what, God has delivered me from this. If you catch me saying that, what, for example, I was a functional alcoholic, right? And maybe for some reason someone comes to me and says, what, I need you to promote this champagne. We've got alcohol-free options, and we've got the alcohol, obviously, right? But obviously, when I do that little brand deal, I won't mention that I'm drinking an alcohol-free version of it. I won't portray myself walking to church with that champagne, right? I need to create a certain atmosphere that will attract people, that look at, champagne as celebration, as, luxury and this and that. Then where do I draw the line? What am I saying to the people that were once in my situation that were like, it's just a, and then they kept falling into a pit because it's just a, you know what I mean? So it's okay for me to say no thank you, even if it's alcohol free, but there's an association with champagne that other people will not even see this as I'm promoting alcohol-free champagne because we are saying champagne is for celebrating. In reality, we know very well that no one opens up a champagne and just drinks for celebrating. A lot of people wake up and we make mimosas out of it. A lot of people, So that is where I'm like, so guys, what I'm saying is, please hold me accountable. For some reason, if I become a little off when I've spoken about certain things, please call me out. Please call me out. Yes, I might be stubborn about it, but please call me out, because there are certain things that we do not want to play with. There are certain spirits that are lurking and waiting to just settle in again. They've packed their bags, yes, but we must continue to do the journey, the walk. We must continue to do the walk. And walk and work, right? Because they're waiting. They don't have any other way in which they can enter, because they don't know. Like my pastor always says, the devil is not like God. God is everywhere. The devil is not everywhere at the same time. The devil doesn't know your mind. He will plant something so that you can speak something, and then he can see that he can enter. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Let's discuss.